Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
We did not get divorced. We were doing separate videos for a couple of days.
People said we're better together, which I agree.
I think so. We're like peanut butter and jelly. I'm the jelly.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll be the peanut butter.
I have a peanut allergy, so I can't be the peanut butter.
That's okay. I like peanut butter.
Everybody likes peanut butter better anyway, so that's okay. Depends on the jelly. Some jelly's really good.
Are you done?
I'm done. Let's talk about something else that's done. That is the ban on Marvel movies in China. Boy, it's really curious that as soon as Bob Iger comes back to Disney, all of a sudden China's like, yeah, we love your movies.
Right. Because you remember Bob Iger was the one who did the, Shanghai, Disneyland and all that. And he was like trying to get himself an ambassadorship either in the UK or China. He's been, up their butts for, you're not supposed to do that over there, but he's been up their butts forever. And now that he's back.
Just don't say gay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Up their butts. That's how we're gonna describe
now
it.
that he's back, now all of a sudden they're walking back that they're gonna have these movies play. Now I guarantee you anything in these movies that are questionable will be removed, just like we saw the censorship on posters prior to Bob Iger being gone.
Yes. So this sounds like, look, there have been a lot of rumors about what's actually going on at Disney, that there's this whole proxy war going on, and I have to wonder if Bob Iger didn't put feelers out to his buddies at the CCP and was like, hey guys, if I come back in, to make me look good, can you lift that ban on our movies if we promise not to gay them up or anything? Is that cool with you? And we promise to tell our actors to shut their mouths?
Yeah.
Yes, Bob,
so
yes.
The rumor is that the actors are going to be told to shut their mouths.
Yes, because there have been a couple actors and directors that have said things about China that supposedly got their movies yanked. Now,
but in a non-gay way.
Absolutely.
Because it's China.
It's China. So any gay Marvel scenes will now be cut down to about 30 seconds and can be easily removed by the censors.
But some of the things that they were mad about wasn't that. It was about the directors or actors making comments.
Yes.
Like, there was nothing wrong with, I think that they're in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, but we had Simu Liu making comments.
Yes.
And the Eternals, the reason it wasn't run over there was because the director for that had been making comments.
Yeah, and the weird thing about it was, like, those movies were tailored for overseas audiences, and because the actor and the director shot their mouths off about China...
Ironically, they're both Chinese.
They're both Chinese. So, I mean, look, they're allowed to say what they want to say, and they're speaking from their own experience, right? But you got to realize CCP doesn't like it when you're critical of the CCP. So and that's,
as much as everybody hated Bob Chapek, yes, they lost the China box office, which was a big, hit. However, dude stuck to his guns and didn't remove stuff. Yeah. And it didn't get aired in China. So, at least the dude didn't, basically bend over for China.
Well, that's okay.
In a non-gay way, because you're not allowed to do that in China.
Yes. We'll say bend the knee instead of bending over.
No, everybody says bend the knee. I wanted something different.
Okay, so bend over.
I'm more graphic.
Bow before China.
Right, there you go.
So we're going to bow before Bob, kneel before Bob, and then Bob will kneel before the CCP.
That's right.
For you, on your behalf. He'll speak on your behalf.
Because they need money so that they don't get out. The board doesn't get ousted.
It is amazing how quickly things change when the money runs out, just all across the board. And we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, over 288, almost 289,000 subs. Thank you for the support. So for those of you who have not been following the situation, we'll give you a very quick rundown. Bob Iger is back as the CEO of Disney. There's a proxy war going on, which is basically an investor group led by Nelson Peltz, is trying to get their people onto the board because they think Disney is going in the wrong direction for shareholders, the company values, yada, 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 right? Whole backstory there. In fact, this guy's friends with the former this is really complicated. This is like the multiverse. This guy is friends with the former ousted boss of Marvel, Ike Perlmutter, and they think that they might be trying to either push Iger out,
because they're mad at Iger.
They're mad at Iger, or they're going to try to, just exert their control over the board. Anyway, Disney is hard pressed now. They have to produce results pretty damn fast, because if not, shareholders could technically vote out a bunch of board members.
Right. Yes. And then the thing is, I want to point out again, I'm not saying one way or the other, which is that I'm not saying that this other person's better either. But the board was behind, they went along with a lot of the poor choices that led Disney in the path it's been led into. It's not all the CEO's fault. The board went along with it.
Yeah. So let's talk about this latest thing. So the last couple Marvel movies, I can't remember the last one that did run. I know Spider-Man did, but Spider-Man was a Sony product.
The Avatar, the second Avatar movie got run. It's not Marvel, but it's doing very well in China, which is probably why they want to get the Marvel movies over there.
Yeah. Now, according to CNBC here, and it was kind of buried in this Hollywood Reporter.
We went over this. We didn't even see it.
No, it was
a hat tip to our writer.
Yeah. So it's a very lengthy article here, but yeah. So this actually makes sense though, because Ant-Man, they actually have is it Hong Kong or Shanghai that has an Ant-Man ride?
Okay, that's probably it's one of the two.
One of the two parks has an Ant-Man ride. I can't remember. I think it might be Hong Kong, but this makes sense for them obviously to do Ant-Man movie over there. But Ant-Man and Black Panther 2 are supposedly going to get releases in China. Now, how they're going to do is up for debate because, of course, people are bringing up that COVID over there is bad and it's pretty much a shutdown. That's like the
their
catch-all.
Excuse for everything.
Also, the biggest change is that China has been making their own blockbuster movies for Chinese audiences, and they're not flocking to the Marvel movies like they were before. Mm-hmm. And since
you want to get in good with the CCP and make sure that you get your social credit score up by going to see their movies.
Got to make sure you do, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think they actually do. I think they actually,
I was kidding, but okay.
No, they do. They're like, did so and so go see this movie on the weekend? Like
a propaganda movie? They did.
That's 2 points.
Level up.
2 points for Gryffindor. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, they're supposedly coming back. Now, again, this all supposedly goes back to Marvel actors saying stupid things and directors and also look, Disney designed Mulan for Chinese audiences and it was a complete failure.
Well, yeah, the Chinese audiences didn't like it. They literally took scenes out to make to appeal to the committee. They had a committee. Yeah. That was, probably CCP and other people in this committee. And they made all these changes to appeal to that. And then it did not do well in China. And then it didn't do well in America either. And then they found out about the detention centers, nearby that was being filmed near. And Disney went along with it and all kinds of stuff. So people weren't happy.
Re-education daycare.
But I mean, what isn't fair though is the people... It's a double-edged sword because the people that are speaking out are people that have a reason to speak out. Like they're from there.
Or their families from there.
Their families, yes. Stuff, yeah. So they have firsthand experience. And I don't think it's right that they should be silenced, but Disney's going to go that far to get the China box office back. Because maybe that is legitimately their experience. And I don't think it's right to pander to China either, but that's what they're going to do, apparently.
Yeah, so this was buried in that article talking about Nelson Peltz and his proxy war. They said, China just agreed to give valuable release dates for Marvel movies generally. Not only are we extremely unlikely to see any Chinese villains, but presumably the talent will be well-schooled to watch their words. Now, Simu Liu tanked Shang-Chi in China, and that movie was designed for Chinese audiences.
Chinese audiences didn't like it. They think he's ugly and they didn't want to watch it.
They're very blunt. I mean, here's what I'm torn about. Like, I don't like the CCP, but I do like the Chinese people. Like, I'm reading some of the comments. Not that it's like, hey, yeah, I like that they call him ugly, but they're very blunt. I mean, they will effing tell you what they think. Like, they're not going to criticize the government, but they will tell you exactly what they think about things.
They were like, I think they were personally insulted that was who their representation was going to be. And then he's out there running his mouth and they're just like, shut up.
Well, that's the same reason with Star Wars. They basically thought that Adam Driver was too ugly to be a lead. But look at Asian entertainment, look at Asian cinema. And like you watch a lot of K-drama and
you watch C-drama too.
And C-drama and K-drama and everybody is ridiculously good looking. I mean, that's the truth. That's what they're used to. So when you've got people that maybe they're better actors, but they might not be as conventionally attractive to them. And
because a lot of people find him attractive. A lot of people find Adam Driver attractive.
Yeah.
I personally am not attracted to him, but a lot of people do.
Neither am I. Aren't you glad?
Yes, I am.
Even when he took his shirt off and he showed me his 8-pack, I was like, I'm not even feeling anything down there.
No, I wasn't feeling anything either.
Good.
So.
I'm glad about that.
I was feeling more awkward. Like, why is this in this movie?
Why do we have
why are we doing this?
Shirtless, sweaty guy in the Star Wars movie mind raping a woman? That's really weird. I was just like, it's really weird.
I'm like, I don't get this. This isn't Star Wars. Anyway, takes you out real fast.
Could you imagine if Ben Kenobi appeared shirtless to Luke?
I'm sorry.
I mean, seriously.
Or Yoda.
Oh my God.
I mean, don't be so speciesish. Yoda could have appeared in a diaper and it would have been fine.
Hard my nipples are.
But I just thought it was funny that, back to the point, that they ripped this thing up and down. Like, they're like, this guy's ugly and I don't want to watch this. And that's what they said. And they said it's very stereotyped. It was very stereotyped of their country and they were very upset by that.
Yeah, so this is Simu Liu, who is very much an outspoken social justice.
He's just outspoken in general.
Social justice practitioner who also slammed Bob Chapek and slammed, And
he also slammed us and lumped us in and said that we were slamming Shang-Chi, and no, we weren't. We were saying it was ripped off by Disney and it wasn't that bad of a movie.
We did multiple videos talking about the projected box office.
That was the media saying.
That was the media saying it. And we actually, when we went to go see the movie, we went to go see it, and we actually gave it a fair review. I don't think it was an A+ or anything, but it was okay.
It was better than Captain Marvel.
I would say, as far as Phase 4 goes, I would say it's probably one of the better, if not the best thing out of Phase 4 so far. I mean, not counting do we count Spider-Man because that's like a Sony thing? Other than that, I would say it's actually pretty okay. It's a hell of a lot better than the other stuff.
I mean, as far as movies go.
Yeah.
So, but he was out there like a dumbass and he didn't even know what he was talking about. So, we'll side with the Chinese people on that one.
So Simu Liu gets recast when? Like that. I could totally see them do that. Like doing that. Like being, hey, we'll run Shang-Chi movies, but could you get rid of the guy that's Shang-Chi? Like, just, you've done it before. You've got rid of actors before.
He's made the CCP mad. The Chinese people think he's ugly and don't like him.
Yeah.
So can we just put somebody else in there?
Jackie Chan. We'll just DH him.
No, I don't think they'll do that. Anyway.
Massively DH Jackie Chan. This is what he said. He said, when I was young, my parents told me the stories. They lived in the third world about growing up in communist China. I think the translations are off. This is like backstroke of the West here. They thought Canada was the pipe dream, where you have people dying of starvation, place where they can go Canada. Okay, so I misread this. Basically, his parents said China was balls. Let's move to Canada.
And like I said, that's legitimately their story, and a lot of people have the same story. And I don't think people should be not allowed to speak out if it's their own personal experiences. They lived it,
Yeah.
I think that people should be allowed to say something. But now Disney's going to probably crack down on that, which I don't necessarily agree with. Then maybe if you're really worried about that, find actors who don't have personal issues that they've publicly spoken about prior.
But then what is going to happen is there are going to be accusations that we're not letting Chinese people direct movies. Well, that's okay.
No, I'm saying you can still hire people. Just make sure that they, that
it's
they
aren't
out there.
Do you hate the CCP? If you do, shut your mouth.
They might hate them, but are they out there actively saying things? That's a difference.
So now I got to wonder, they're actors now. Are they all going to be trained in Mandarin? So when they F up, they can
apologize?
They can apologize in Mandarin like John Cena, which was embarrassing. I'm sorry, John. Normally I like John Cena, but I'm like, dude.
See, that's where I'm like, I'm at, because it's like I'm torn here, because people should be allowed to say, what they think. And especially if you have experiences, I don't think it should be silenced. But the flip side is, understand that when you speak out, you might be risking, losing a part or something, because Disney cares for all their showboating, for all their, don't say gay stuff, and for all their, we're all about diversity and inclusion and all that stuff that they're publicly saying to appease American audiences. When it came to China, they're now probably silencing people. They're going to throw people under the bus to get that Chinese box office. So Disney, make no mistake, doesn't give two shits about anybody. They just care about the fucking money.
Yes.
There's a comma in there.
Yeah. Well,
not the money that works too.
That is Disney 18 plus.
Right.
The fucking money. Yes. No. So this is the thing, guys, and we keep telling you this. Same with Wizards of the Coast. Like, now you're starting to see where these companies' loyalties lie.
In their wallets.
In their wallet.
In their pants. Where their wallet is.
Shareholder value is what they're going to call it, quote unquote. Because what is happening is now that the free spending is over, they don't have the luxury of kowtowing to a handful, because they thought before they were too big to fail. Disney's in a battle for its life at this point. And we told you.
Clear to the board, yeah.
Clear to the, yeah, I mean, it's they're going to make movies about this shit.
Yeah.
They are. And Disney won't make it. It'll be one of their competitors.
Probably.
But yeah, so, like, they're just like, we got to make money, guys. We got to make money, and it doesn't matter, you know, so we have no more gay characters and no anti-Chinese sentiment,
or
whatever.
that's a small section that we could easily remove.
Just like Harry Potter. You know, but yeah, it'll be the first movies since 2019. I guess Spider-Man Far From Home was the last one to open in China, and that was, again, more of a Sony thing than a Disney thing. So, and thank Simu Liu, thank the director of The Eternals for that, and what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Apparently you're going to tell people to stop talking.
You're going to tell people stop talking and learn Mandarin.
That's right.
All right,
yep.
We're going to wrap it up?
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.